Now to the latest on a stabbing on U Street that killed a 16-year-old girl. The suspect, another teenage girl, made her first appearance in court. She is charged with second-degree murder. News 4's Derek Ward joins us now live. So, Derek, you've learned some new information about what may have led up to the stabbing, and the prosecutors are saying the fight was over sauce.
Indeed it was. They're saying it was over sweet and sour sauce. Now, as you said, the victim is identified as Naima Liggon. She's 16. The person who was accused of stabbing her to death is also a 16-year-old female who we will not name. This is being held in juvenile court.
The judge is still deciding whether to hold a teenage suspect.
She's my son's friend. She was the first friend that he met when he arrived here. So it was a shock for us because she's a beautiful person.
16-year-old Naima Liggon was heading into her junior year at Thomas Stone High School. She was thinking about college. She was learning to drive a car. She had just been hired at a Krispy Kreme near her home in Waldorf, Maryland. The day before the new school year began, Naima was fatally stabbed. A group of them drove from Maryland to a party in D.C. before stopping at the 24-hour Macdonald's. It was said that an argument began in the vehicle, which then turned physical. Apparently, the argument was over Macdonald's sweet and sour sauce. It is said that the teens at one point exited the vehicle and a fight broke out right outside the U Street Macdonald's in Northwest Washington. Police arrested another 16-year-old girl in the killing, who was said to be Naima's friend. Allegedly, it happened after 2 a.m. on Sunday, a week before D.C. police started enforcing a youth curfew in targeted areas of the city, including the Youth Street nightlife corridor of bars and clubs. It is said that Naima helped to feed and clothe the homeless. She was a precious soul. Her mother, Joy Liggon, said Naima was beautiful, intelligent, and funny. Clever, witty, she would just light up the room. Naima could be whatever she wanted, including being a barber based on her self-taught talent for cutting hair. She said she cut everybody's hair in the neighborhood. Instead, this beautiful little girl has become a statistic in a homicidal year in the district. Joy Liggon said that it's unthinkable, just senseless about the killing of her child and in the circumstances police described. Police have said Naima was in D.C. with a couple of the girls when the dispute erupted. There was a juvenile court hearing to determine whether police had sufficient evidence to support the charge of second-degree murder and whether the suspect should be detained. It is said that a police detective testified that Naima and another girl hit another 16-year-old, but the detective said that as Naima and her friend tried to get in the vehicle, the suspect lounged at Naima with a 7.5-inch pocket knife and stabbed her in the chest and abdomen. A prosecutor said that Naima and her friend were not armed, and that was based on surveillance video. The fight was over when the stabbing occurred. The suspect's attorney is arguing that her client stabbed her in self-defense and that the suspect should be returned home to her parents to await trial, scheduled for October. Joy Liggon said her daughter was known as a peacemaker. Fights would break out in school, and she said it was Naima, more so than teachers and staff, who could get them to stop. Wallace Liggon, Naima's father, and her mother, Joy Liggon, said they will work to ensure the legacy of their daughter is of her good works, the energy she had for life, her sense of humor, and her faith. Rest in peace, Naima.